Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you this bracelet. So this came out of this here, and I did a video doing this right angle weave with these lovely rice beads and pearls. So this was the very simplified version, and I had mentioned something about possibly doing 2 rows and attaching them. Now I went one step further, and what I did was I used super duos instead of 11-0 seed beads. So let me show you. This is the completed bracelet. So we're going to do a row of about, let me think here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was going to do 10, but I think that's a lot. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do, we'll see, 6 maybe. But let me show you from the back side. It's a lot easier to understand what I did. So the first part of this, let's put this here. So if you see, we have our rice bead and we have it there. And then we have an 11-0 and a pearl. Yeah, I did this different. So you can put 2 11-0s in between this section. But I opted not to do it because at a glance it looks like it's fine, but if you look up close you can see the space. So anyway, instead of putting a 11-0 there, I went ahead and put an 11 or a super duo on each side of every one that we added. So the rice bead, the pearl, and I'll show you that in a second. So basically this middle part here I did separately, and then once that was done, I went ahead and added 11-0, a diamond duo, and go up, add your 15-0 beads, come back down and go through these super duos. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I am. But look at this crazy bracelet. So this turned out really amazing. We're going to try to do this with blue beads. I had bought these rice beads quite a while ago, and I thought they came in 50s. They actually come in 100s, and right now they have a sale. They're $2 plus free shipping for a set of 100, and I put the link in the previous video. I'll put the link in this video as well. If you have any questions about any of the other items, let me know. I don't normally put materials lists because I go over it at the beginning, and I don't usually put links for beads because it's a lot of work, and some I don't remember where I got them. But definitely, if you need to know something, let me know, and I will take a look and see if I can find the link for it. So there you go. So we'll hang on to this so we get an idea. There's parts that I switched up, like in this one I put a 3mm Swarovski crystal. I didn't have any that suited the blue colors, so I thought I would try these lovely, I think they're 1.5 by 2. So we'll put 2 of those in place of the 3mm Swarovski. They're gorgeous. So we'll see. They look amazing on a strand together. Not so much on the side. It's almost like they're not completely covered. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure they'll look good. So what you need is you're going to need a clasp like this. You can put any clasp you want. It's just a different application. So for this one, I wanted the clasp to sit into the bracelet a bit. So I finished off here and then I had to add a super duo and a diamond duo to attach that. So if you don't want to do that, any clasp will do. You can put it on at the end and decide what you want to bling it up with. But I ended up picking this one. We're going with silver colors with the blue. So you're going to need some diamond duos or gem duos, doesn't matter which. They're pretty much the same size. You're going to need 11-0 seed beads, and I'm using silver. You're going to need some 50 no-seed beads, silver. These colors you can change. It's up to you. Over here I have super duos, and these, let me get the name of these. They are clear on one side and like a metallic blue on the other, so they look blue. Mirror turquoise blue, they're called. I'm using some iridescent blue 4mm pearls, and then the I think these are 5 by 9. Where's my measuring tool? Oh, here it is. They do have the next size up, and I actually have them. We'll do something different with that one. Okay, so these are 3 by 6. They might be 4. Yeah, they're 4 by 6. Sorry about that. That's the main bead, and I don't even have the measurement for it. So again, these little crystals, and I have some 4mm bicones, Swarovski bicones. And that is, I probably showed it too quick, but that is for the top, because we're going to go back and add these gorgeous little they look a little bit flowery, but you know what? It looks so amazing just like that. You don't have to add that. So, you know, several steps throughout, you don't have to add what I'm doing, but I kind of wanted to bling it up all the way. I'm using size 6 dragon thread. You can use 6-pound fire line or smaller. I wouldn't go any bigger because we are going through 50 no's and little crystals multiple times. It might be hard to bring that through. And I'm using a size 12 beading needle, but for this bracelet I used a size 10. It just got a bit sticky in places, and it's not because the needle's too big, but it's because when you're doing super duos, sometimes the way they're set like this, the holes are not exactly straight across when you join them that way. So you're having to dig around your super duos. So what I've done is I started out by stringing on your first set of beads, and this will be the only time you do it this way. So what you need, let me put it here so you can see. Okay, so you're going to need a super duo, a pearl, a super duo, a rice bead, a super duo, a pearl, super duo, and then another rice bead. So you're alternating your pearl, rice bead, and you're always putting a super duo in between them. So that's just for the first row. I'm going to go ahead and tie this in a knot in like a loop. Let's get my thread here. Pull it together so you can see how it makes more sense now. That's a little closer to what the first bracelet was. And I thought I had that in there. Put a second knot. Make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to do a third knot. I'm always leery of the knots coming undone because I'm going to cut this. There. That. And I do have a thread burner. Let me see if I can just, without burning my finger. There. I don't know how some people use on YouTube use a lighter. The whole thing, including my mat, would be on fire. Call the fire department. So now I'm just going to go through everything one more time. Make sure it's nice and secure. I'm going to pull that knot in there. That's pretty already. So go through everything. And I'm going to enlarge this for you. Make sure it's in focus. These colors look really nice together. That. And we're going to go through one more here. Actually, we're going to go through two. We could start adding here, but I want to make sure the thread has gone around twice completely. So we're going to go this way. Okay, so we are going to create a row. This will be, the pearls are on the top and bottom, and the rice beads are in the middle. So if you're doing right angle weave, you're going to keep going in circles this way. So we do need to go through this one to get ourselves set up. And then the rest will all make a lot of sense there. Okay, so now if you take a look at this, all you need is cover this rice bead. You're going to basically need this to go on here. So you need a super duo, pearl, super duo, rice, super duo, pearl, super duo. And you're going to do that to the length of your bracelet. And don't forget to incorporate the length of your clasp. I find the 4mm pearls hard to pick up. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let me move some of these over here. Rice, super duo, and pearl. And then if the pearl is dark, I find it's hard to find the hole. Okay, so let me show you what I have. Oh, we need another super duo. Trust me, this gets so much faster once you've got your rhythm. It's been a couple of days since I did that bracelet, so I'm kind of... So, if you think you have your rice bead, you need a super duo, pearl, super duo, rice bead, super duo, pearl, super duo. You're going to, coming out of this one here, of the rice bead, this side, you're going to go through the other side of the rice bead. Pull that all in. And that's what you're going to have. Your super duos will flip the correct way. If not, it's not a big deal. There. Okay? Because these are going to cinch together, kind of enveloping that rice bead. So now, again, it's a right angle weave. We have to go through two sides of it. I'm just going to flip this over so it's easier to handle. So go up through the super duo, through the pearl, and the next super duo. Pull it through. And they do get a little distorted. Just adjust them. Now you're going to go through the rice bead. And that's it. So you don't have to go around a second time. If you want, you can. But you know what? I found that we're going through some of the other stuff like at the top of these super duos, you're going to be coming around, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's go. Super duo, pearl. I think I was putting them on my needle the last time. They're so tiny. Super duo, pearl. Oh, I did that again. It's the rice bead. Then a pearl. I'll show you in a second what I have. Again, super duo, pearl, super duo, rice bead, super duo, pearl, super duo. Just think your rice bead's always going to be in between these. Like that. Bring it down. Coming out of the top of the rice bead, you're going to go through the bottom. Pull it nice and tight. I'm going to flip it so I can continue with my right angle weave. If it gets loose, don't worry. You see how it's loose? Once we get to the spot we want, we'll tighten it. So go through the super duo, the pearl and the super duo, pull it through, and pull it tight. Go through the rice bead and tighten. Pick up a super duo, a pearl, super duo, rice bead, super duo and a pearl, and another super duo. Bring it all the way to the end. Go through the bottom of that rice bead, pull everything through, bring it tight. I'm going to flip it, go through the super duo and the pearl and the super duo. There. I'm going to go through the rice bead. We're ready to add on our next set. That's what you have so far. Super duo, pearl, super duo, rice bead, super duo, pearl, and a super duo. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be our 6th. And I'm going to flip it. So just continue in the direction of the, I'm going to lighten this a bit there. The dark beads are hard to see. Follow the direction that the thread is going. So you're continuously going in circles. Pull it tight. Okay, so now we are going to do the next step. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up through the rice bead. We're going to go around the super duo and the pearl and the super duo. Then we're going to step up let me think about this for a second here. So what we need to do is we need to end up at the top hole of this bead. So if we go in here, I'm wondering how I did that. Let's go through this one here to start. Okay. We're going to go through the super duo, the pearl and the super duo. Make sure that's snug. Trying to remember. I think we may have to go down this rice bead. Yes, that's what it is. So we had it this way, and we were coming out of this rice bead. You go through the super duo, the pearl and the super duo, come down that rice bead. What we're going to do is we're going to go back through this super duo, step up and go this direction. So you won't be able to, I mean, I guess we could go to the end. Yeah, let's go to the end, might as well. So go through your super duo and your pearl and your super duo, and now you're going to step up. I think what I was trying to do is to stay to start out around the double super duos. So now we're going to go through. So you're stepping up, you're in the bottom hole, you want to go through the top hole. And I'm using crystal color thread for this. It's up to you what, if you want to use a gray, it might not be as visible. Okay, so we are going to need our diamond duos. What I do when I'm working with a bead that is two-sided, so if you see there's like a rounded edge and then there's a flat edge, so you want to remember that once we get these on, we're going to put them on all the same way. So we want the rounded side up, like this. So the best way to remember how you're picking up your bead is, or the easiest way, is just to set it on your map in the position that you need it. So we're going to need an 11/0. Your threads coming out of this super duo, you want to come up like that. And so that's in the correct position. Now we want to cross over to the second hole so we can come down into the next super duo. To do that and to cover our thread, we're going to add 15 seed beads. So you're going to add 5 of them. Bridges the amount of thread that you need to the second hole. So there's 5 15 So your thread's coming out of that hole on this diamond duo. You're going to go through the next hole. Like that. Pick up an 11/0. You're going to go through the 2 super duos this time. Pull it through, and there is your first super duo on the edge. So now we need an 11/0. Your diamond duo. So you're going to go through this hole here, pick up 5, 11 or 50 no's. There's 5. I'm going to bring everything down. I like to hold my work in my hand. I try to show you by putting it on my mat, but it's a little awkward. So just do that. I'm going through the second hole, pick up an 11-0, go through the 2 super duos. So you can see I'm going super slow to show you, but you can see how fast this bracelet would be to make. So there's that one. So let's go to the next one, pick up an 11-0, get your diamond duo ready. You're going to go through. So it's really the bottom hole on the left hand side. We're going to pick up 5, 50 no's. There's 5. Bring everything down to your work. Go through the second hole on your diamond duo. And pick up an 11-0. Go through your 2 super duos. And coming along, 11-0, super duo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 50 no's. So right now this is what we have. 11-0, super duo or diamond duo, 5 50 no's. Bring that all down next to your work and flip that one over. Go through the second hole on the diamond duo. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the 2 super duos. Pick up an 11-0. Go through your diamond duo. Pick up 5 50 no's. Bring it all down. Like that. Go through your second hole of your diamond duo. Like that. Pick up an 11-0. Go through the last super duo on this side. Pull everything tight. Now we are going to go through the bottom hole of that super duo, through the pearl, and through the next super duo. So this is where I was saying sometimes the way the super duos sit, it's hard to get to your holes. You could do it in separate. It's really not happy. I wonder if that hole is, you know what? That's where we put the knot. Okay, so you can see this has gotten loose, not a big deal. All you have to do is pull that thread and it tightened the ball. Once we turn, it won't loosen again. There. So now you're gonna go down the rice bead. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna go all the way around. So we're gonna go through the bottom holes of the super duo, go through the pearl, and go through the last super duo there. That's what you have so far. So you're coming out of the bottom hole, you're going to go through the top hole of that super duo. And we're going to do that all again. So let's get some more of these. I actually counted them out exactly, so let's make sure we have this on correctly. Yeah. And 5 50 nose. Bring them down. That. So you're coming out of that hole, we're going to go into this hole. Through, pick up an 11-0, go through the 2 super duos. Looking nice. Pick up an 11-0, go through your super duo, pick up 5 50 nose, 2 3 4 5, bring them all to the bottom. Flip that guy, go through the next hole, and a 11-0, go through the 2 super duos, 11-0, super duo, and 50 nose. They are so tiny they jump around. Go through the next hole. You know, when I first started putting on the silver on this, I felt like it took away from the blue, but now that it's set up, it's looking really spectacular. Spectacular! Doesn't take much to get me excited. Just keep going here. So I got a lot of really good responses for this video about people wanting to see the you know, elaborate on that design. This type of bead weaving I love. First of all, you do the right angle weave, you can, you know, it's limited only by your imagination when it comes to what bead sizes and colors you put together. And then it's very you know, it's pretty easy to add. You could put a ginkgo bead there and add the beads around the top to get to the second hole. You could take another super duo and put it there if you didn't have any of these diamond duos. So there's all kinds of options. You could, you know, put a large crystal in between. There. 1 2 3 4 5. Bring it through. Go through the second hole. And an 11-0. Go through your super duo. Pull everything. So there, this is what you have so far. You could end your bracelet right there. It's like, what? Put a nice clasp on. You're all set to go. But we're not done. So now I'm going to step down to the bottom hole. And I'm going to go through these guys. And this, you know, weaving back and forth also tightens everything. So make sure that's all tight. Pull your thread through like that. Go down. your rice bead to come to the other side. Pull through. You're gonna go, you're gonna go all the way through the super duos, the pearl, and the next super duo. You are gonna step up again. This time, if you can manage with your needle to bring it through, I think it's going through the super duo and the 11 like that. Then we're going to go through the diamond. I think these are gem duos. I keep calling them diamonds. I think the gem duos have one singular line, like one bevel, but the diamond duos actually has there's a peak at the middle point of this, so it looks like a faceted stone. Anyway, side trip. We're going to go through the 15 O's. You don't have to go through the 15 O's. You could bring your thread across here. Being this crystal, you won't see it, but there's lots of space to go through, so I'm going to go through so there's no chance of seeing the thread. Actually, you have to, now that I think of it, because we are going to extend, we're going to attach all of these guys together. So now what you want to do is, so we don't need those right now, and we don't need those. Don't need those. But we do need our little crystals. So I was using a 3mm crystal, Swarovski crystal, and putting 1/15 on each side of it. So we'll test the first one. I think we just need 1/15 and 2 crystals, and 1/15. So that's what we're going to put in between each. It's a bit short. I wonder if we put, put a 15 in between the crystal. How would that look? That looks nice. I just don't want it to buckle. I think we're gonna skip it. It looks like it might be too big in between, so we're gonna put 15 2 crystals. They're 1.5 by 2, and they're the ones that I got on BB Craft. So now you're coming out of these 15 you're going to go into these ones next to it and try and get through as many as you can. Oh my god, that looks amazing. Ha ha. I love it when a plan comes together. Just like that. You can pull it tight, it doesn't really matter. I think it'll all get tight at the end anyway. So now we're picking up a 15 2 crystals, and a 15 you're coming out of these 15 you're going to go into the next ones. Go through all of them. Oh yeah, this is looking amazing. So pick up 15 2 crystals, a 15 and go through the next ones. There's something about blue and silver, I just like a dark blue. It's like a, I don't know, looks like royalty jewelry or something. There must be a crown or something that, or a set of crystal choker that has those colors. Go through the next one. Through the last two. Look at that. Oh, look at it. Isn't that amazing? Oh, I get so excited, and you know what? My wife is totally not interested. I'm like, look what I made. She's like, that's very nice. I'm like a 5-year-old, right? Look at it. Look what I made. Okay, so now we're gonna do the same for the other side. So what we need to do is go down your diamond duo or your gem duo through the 11-0 like that. Go through your super duo, the top hole. You're going to step down and you're going to go through the bottom hole of the super duo, then the pearl, and then the bottom hole of the next super duo. And you're just going to turn your thread around like we did on the other side. This again anchors these so they don't get loose. Go through. Then go through the super duos and the pearl. And you can see, now this is like 10 across. You probably would use, this one ends up being like for an 8-inch wrist, which I don't know too many people with that big a wrist, but yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So between 3 and 4 sets of these, and you have a bracelet done. This bracelet like took me maybe 2 hours at the most. Okay, so we're at the bottom hole of the super duo. We're going to go through the top hole, so we're stepping up, and we're going to go through the 11-0. If you can get through your diamond duo, go for it. And look at that, it went through. That's the good thing about using a size 12, it's very bendy. It's like, I like Jennifer, she's very bendy. She's a mermaid. Okay, so now we went through those 15 O's. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So a 15 O, 2 crystals, a 15 O, go through the next set of 15 O's. That, I almost like it just like this. Like, I almost don't want to put anything. I'm going to make this one for my sister Sylvia. So if you're listening, Sylvia, don't listen. Cover your ears, or Santa won't come this year. Oh my God, the stories I could tell you about Christmas secrets. So we opened our gifts Christmas Eve at midnight once all the adults got back from midnight mass. So then they would, like the little kids, somebody would stay home, usually my mother. Oh, one bead there. And when everybody got home from midnight mass, then they'd go and wake up the little ones, which was me and Sylvia. And the festivities would start. Oh, my mom had an amazing spread. We always had ham for Christmas, and her famous brown sugar pies were French, so it's tarte à sucre and meat pies. You know, when I was in North Carolina, for Christmas I made meat pies, and the person that I was with would take them to work and give them to people, and they'd flip out. So look at this, is incredible. This could be it, your bracelet. It's so beautiful. But we are going to add, because we can, all bracelets should have Swarovski. So I'm just going to turn around again. Telling it down. So I am going to step down, go through the super duos, the pearl, the super duo. Everything's tight. Everything's not moving. Oh, this is This is a shame to add anything to this. This looks amazing. So this is what we're going to add. These are turquoise Swarovski crystals. We're going to need our 11-0s. So you're going to take an 11-0, a 4mm Swarovski bicone or whatever bicones you have, another 11-0, another crystal, and another 11-0. So this is what you should have. Bring it down. So if you see, we want this to go across to the other side, sorry. So you're going to go down through your rice bead like that. It's going to pop up. Then you're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal. You're going to go use this as your common, your middle 11-0. So pull that through. I'm just going to get the tension back on this. Here, let's do it this way. Pull that through and then tighten it that way. There we go. Then, so you have your 11-0 here, so pick up your crystal because it's going to sit there, but we need an 11-0 to go at the bottom of it. So now we are going to go down this rice bead and pull through. So there's your middle little rosette. Again, you can start to put your next one in here. I like to go through to anchor that thread so this one doesn't get loose. So I'm going to go through my Super Duo, but you don't have to do that. So there, that's nice and tight. Pick up, that's an 8-0 or big one, biggin. 11-0, let's get our crystals here. Crystal, 11-0, crystal, 11-0. So that's what you want. Take a look at your work. So you're in this corner, you're going to go to that corner, and we're going to go through the pearls this time. Like that. You're going to pick up an 11-0 crystal. You're going to use the middle bead as your middle 11-0. And I'm going to pull this tight here. Keep it tight. Pick up your 11-0 and, sorry, your bicone, then your 11-0, because you already have an 11-0 here. So now we're going to go through the Super Duo, the pearl, and the Super Duo. And I'm going to tighten these guys. There. That's looking amazing. Let me grab my needle here. So on that one, I was going through the Super Duo, Pearl Super Duo. I'm going to go up through the rice bead this time. It's up to you which way you want to do it. It all ends up in the same orientation, so it's not a big deal. So pick up an 11-0, 4mm bicone, 11-0, bicone, 11-0. Then we're going to go through this rice bead, the next one, so that'll bring it across. I want to make sure these are in focus. Okay, pick up an 11-0, a crystal, go through the middle 11-0, like that. Pick up a bicone and an 11-0, and now we are going to go through the super duo, the pearl, and the super duo, like that. Tight. See how amazing. Okay, so it's really amazing without the crystals, but the crystals just totally bling it out. I am gonna go up. I like to go through another set of beads once I've attached these. That's just so that they don't get loose. So 11-0 crystal, 11-0 crystal, and 11-0 that. Bring it down. And we are going to go up this rice bead, and that's going to take it into an angle here. Then we're going to pick up an 11-0, a crystal, go through the combined middle 11-0, like that. Pick up a crystal, 11-0, and going to go through the super duo, the pearl, the super duo to the next one. Bring it tight. Wow, this is crazy. Look at that. Okay, the last one. Let's go up the rice bead. There. So we need 11-0, crystal, 11-0, crystal, 11-0, crystal. I don't need that crystal. Yeah, like that. I was starting to think about stuff about Christmas with my sister and I was bad. I would trick her into telling me what she got me for Christmas. I need a 11-0 and a crystal. I would make up something. I'd say I got you this, whatever. She's like, okay, I'll tell you what I got you. And she'd tell me, and then she was finished telling me, and I'd say, I lied, that's not what I got you. Is that mean or what? I was bad like that. Poor little Sylvia. We were besties. We would be up first thing Saturday morning, and we knew we weren't supposed to get up, so we'd stay in bed. But we'd start giggling and carrying on, and my mom would yell up the stairs in French, go back to sleep and shut up, like this. My poor mom. And we'd get really quiet, and then we'd be like, we'd look at each other, and we'd start laughing. We'd be like, they want us to get along and be friends and play together, and then they tell us to shut up and go to bed. Or when we're laughing and carrying on, they tell us to stop. And then we'd start laughing again, and then my mom would start yelling at us again. So this is what you're going to have when you're done. So let's talk about the clasp. So at this point here, I'm going to, I went through the super duo, the pearl super duo. I am going to go through the rice bead. So just give it that one extra little security of being through another bead, so those won't get loose. Let me extend my thread here. So now you can add this just at the ends. There's these lovely little bars in between, so you can get your needle through there. But as you can see, it's kind of like there's nothing there to kind of hold it in place. You can use French wire, or what I like to do is to extend this pattern over here. So to do that, your first one is on the ends, as you noticed, we had just the one super duo. So let me do it this way so you can see. So if you add a super duo to this side and one to this side, then you can go in through here and they kind of fit together. Let me show you on this one here. So I actually added a super duo here and a diamond duo, and I did leave 2 out to do that. So let's go ahead and do that. I think it's worth seeing this portion, but if you're done watching me, don't feel bad. You know, go to another video, go get your beads. I won't be upset. So let me think how I want to. So you're going to want to attach through the top hole first. You see, like that. Because you want to make sure that those are attached. These ones here, I mean, I guess you could, since we're coming out of it, let's try it that way. So get your 11 O's. You will need some 11 O's to get that in the right spot. So pick up an 11 O, then your super duo. Okay, so this is going to go, get that going the right way. So that's the bottom hole. We've added an 11 O in there. In this one, I didn't add anything here, but as you can see, you can see the thread, and same here. You really do need something there to secure it and to conceal the knot. So if you want at this point, you can take your thread and go back and attach this. So there's that side. Now I'm going to go up and around. And that's what I was saying, at the ends you go through the 15 O's a few times, so definitely a size 12 needle might be a little easier. I'm going to go through my 15 O's. You don't have to, again, you know, if you see, you can't really see that thread, or you can avoid it and step down this way. So I'm just going to do it, I would say, the proper way, but it's like, is there a bead police? There's no such thing as the proper way. It's the way that works, and then Emma's way. So now I'm going down through my diamond duo, my 11 O. You're going to eventually, because you're in the top holes, you're going to eventually have to step down. So let's just go through this 11 O here, or the super duo. Then I'm just going to go straight down to the other side. We'll add the other super duo like that. So let's go through everything like that. Pick up an 11 O, pick up a super duo, and let me see what I did there. Yeah, so I stepped up so that this guy goes this way. There. So we've added 2 super duos. I'm going to go through the 11-0, the diamond duo, come back around. So only go through 5 because now we have some extra beads on there. Like that. And go down through your super duo, your 11-0. Okay. Go through this super duo. Go down, so you're stepping down. Go down through the super duo, the bottom hole, and the pearl. Come back out this way. Let me see where we want to put our diamond duo. Okay, so we want to put our diamond duo up here, like this. So we need to be in the top hole. Like that. So I am just gonna, I would do this a lot nicer to go through the different holes, because you could see the thread starting to stick out in this area. But I'm gonna go from this bottom super duo hole to the top of the next one, because we're gonna add our diamond duo. So you're gonna pick up an 11-0, and remember how I said position your super duo where you want it and with the rounded side up. So we have our 11-0. We're going to go through this hole. Once you're in the hole, you don't have to worry, it'll flip around. Okay. We're going to add 5 15-0s to our diamond duo. There's 5. We're going to go through the second hole. Bring it through and slide it down like that. Pick up an 11-0, and now you're going to go through the clasp. So let's get that there. This will attach there. So I'm positioning it so I know which part of the clasp I want to go through. There's a bar right here. So I want to go through that one. And you can bring your thread right around. There. So it's going to sit there. Now, what you can do is you can go back up through this 11-0 and through your pearl, but I think I would like to create, I'm gonna go back through this hole. I'm gonna come out on the end of my clasp. So I'm taking my thread back out through that hole and then through this tiny hole. Again, there's lots of holes on these clasps. You can go through whatever you want. This is just, you know, a choice I made. So now we can actually go through the bottom hole of that super duo that we added. And I'm going to go through the 11-0 that we added as well. Like that. And you can go down through the rice bead, come up through the 11-0 that we added, and through the bottom hole of that super duo that we added. And now you're ready to go through this side of the clasp. So you can go through the same hole, that's this corner hole here, you're going to come up to this second bar like that. So you can see how this type of embellishment really makes your clasp look like it's part of the bracelet. So that's why I like embedding them in. So we're going to need an 11-0. We're going to position our super duo. That's how we want it to sit. So you're going to go up through this one. We're going to add 5 15-0s. Bring it all down. And just flip that guy there. Then go through the top of the next hole like that. And we're going to need, so we put a 15-0 on the other one, or a 11-0, so we're going to do that. It's an 11-0 at the base of your crystal. And I'm trying to think, and we came through the top. So go through the top of that super duo. That. And that's amazing. Oh. So now I'm going to step down to the second hole. I'm going to go through the same holes again. And I'm going to do that a few times. I'm going to go to the other side, do that a few times. And that's going to reinforce it. Let's go up through everything. Through your diamond duo, your 15-0s, down, through here, through the 11-0, like that, through the super duo. I'm going to go to the other side. So I would, if I had more thread, more time to show you, I would go through these separately. Like I wouldn't just go in a circle here. I would go up and around, up and around. But I'm going to go back, do one more time on this side. So I'm coming out of the super duo. I'm going to go, I think I might take my thread through and go through that 11-0, down the rice bead. There. Go through this. Go through all of this one more time. That. Bring it tight. Go through the 15-0s. Down through the diamond duo, through the 11-0. I'm going to bring my needle up this way just to, maybe not, through the back. And I'll find the hole on the back. Oh, I went through that. Didn't mean to go through that. Okay. So thread's coming out. We just went through that. We are going to come through this bottom hole here and down into the super duo and the 11-0. At this point too, what I normally do is I put knots in so that if at any part breaks, but there's a knot in there, then it may only break this stuff off, not all of this. So now we are going to attach this with these beautiful blue crystals. So it will totally look like part of the bracelet. So to do that, I'm going to go up or through this bottom hole here of the next super duo, and we're going to step up on that one. Okay, so step. Oh, we have to go further back because we need to create the bridge here. So I need to go through the pearl. This part's hard to get through. And through the super duo. Okay, so now step up and go through the 11-0. We are going to go through the diamond duo, flip it here, go through. Remember we added a 15-0, two crystals of 15-0, so you skip that one 15-0, just go through the 5 15-0s that are attached to that diamond duo. Pick up, that's 11s, pick up a 15-0, two crystals, and a 15-0, and go to the next 15-0s. That. You can add some 15-0s here around. I think I might, let's try 4. I think 3 is enough. Go through the 11-0. Like that. I think 4, no, I guess like that. See, my only issue with that is see how it comes down off of the, let's go back. I think we needed 4 in there. So go back through the clasp, through your 11-0, there, and add 1 15-0. Go through, like that. Yeah, that's better. Like that. Now let's go through. So I'm going through the super duo, through the 11-0 at the base. We're going to go actually I'm going to go through the 11-0, the pearl and, or sorry, the super duo, the pearl and the super duo. That. We're just going to have enough thread. Go through the rice bead. I'll actually be surprised if we have enough thread. There. Go through the 15s on this side. It's very strange for me to be doing the clasp before the finish of the bracelet. Okay, so now we're going to add the finishing beads on this side. This is turning out amazing. Okay, so we need 1 15-0, 2 crystals, and a 15-0. We're going to go through the next set of 5 15-0s. That, and I'm losing my thread. Go through all of them. And 4 15-0s. Go through the 11-0. That. Go down to the super duo and the 11-0. And I'm going to put a knot in here. So I'm just going to find a thread bridge and take the knot down through the rice bead. Okay, that'll work. take your thread and wrap it around your needle twice. Bring it all the way down as close as you can to where your needle is sitting. Pull that tight and then pull it in the opposite direction. Go through the rice bead to pull your knot in there. And then I'm just going to go through a set of beads just to get my tail of my work. And that will not come out. That's getting pretty snug there. Like that. Take it off. And clip that. And there you have. Oh, ta-da! Oh my gosh. This turned out amazing. That is awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. Take a look. Take a look at my bracelet. These lovely bracelets. Like that. Very sparkly for the holiday season. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I know sometimes, as simple as I try to make it, some things get a bit garbled, so please feel free to ask. I want everybody to enjoy the beads the way I do and have fun doing this, and I know that anybody can do it. It's super cool. And these, so you don't need Swarovskis. These clasps are a little bit expensive. They've gotten more expensive on AliExpress. They average about $2. The smaller ones maybe $1.50. I am looking to find some super cheap ones. They do have a few on BB Craft, but if I find more, I'll let you know. But you can use any clasp, and definitely all of these other components are super cheap. And you can use just regular crystals. They don't have to be Swarovskis. Preciosas are really nice too. And you don't have to put any crystals, or you could put some pearls up there. I mean, there's no end to what you can do. So there you go. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.